All right, hey, what's going on, guys? I am sorry about the delay. I've been sending out invites to you guys and canceling the invite. I was having some sort of technical difficulty on my end trying to get this video started. Anyhow, we are up and running, and I'm ready to get started here in a few moments. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes to get some viewers in here, get more viewers in here. Also, I'm going to set up my screen here to receive chats as well. Uh, all right. Okay. Or maybe not. Have to spend some more time on that. Like I said in the last few videos, if so, that I'm somewhat new to this whole system here, but I wanted to shed some light on my situation. My name is Miguel Taylor, and I'm the CEO and founder of 100 Forces, as you can see there. That's also the website there at the bottom of the screen in the lower thirds that you can check out. Anyhow, which I'm going to get more into that because something funny happened like 2 days ago when I went to court, and 100 Forces came up in the courtroom as far as what is it about and things like that. And I'll go some more in detail, I guess, about that. I mean, it's my case, so I feel as though I'm at liberty to talk about it. But with that being said, 100 Forces is just simply, first of all, like I said, I encourage you guys to go by and check out 100forces.org, and you can look into what 100 Forces is actually about. It breaks it down even more than what I'm going to tell you right now. But with that being said, 100 Forces is it's an organization that I created just for the simple fact, there's some horror stories in our country involving men and their children and the child support system. And we all have heard these stories before. And granted, there are some men out there that really are deadbeats and things like that. But I just want to make something very, very clear, because I know that the people that are involved in my case, I know they're going to watch this video, and they know who they are. And I just want to make something very, very clear. Child support does not just mean money. But that's what we believe it means. But just think about the word in itself, child support. Also, for the people that don't know me, and this is also, for the people that do know me as well, I have two boys that I haven't seen. I have never seen. I have a middle son. I've never met him before in my life. I haven't seen my oldest son in 12 years. And it's to the point now, like it's disgusting how this situation is really blowing out. It's getting out of control to me, just simply because things that were said about me in the courtroom, and the opposing parties, they're scared for the child's safety, for whatever reason. However, I do want to make it clear, don't ever put something on Facebook that that can be used against you, because I put some pictures on Facebook that were associated to a movie that I was shooting, and editing and things like that. And I was on set and happy to be there, basking in the just the opportunity to do something of that magnitude. And just like everybody else, I'm sure I took some pictures that I probably shouldn't have took, but I make that sound way worse than what it really is. All I did was take some pictures of some fake money that was used in the movie. And it's a movie titled Welcome to Killer City too, by the way, if you want to check that out. I'm not getting paid from that movie or anything like that. It was kind of like a pro bono type of ordeal that we did. And at that time, my vision and my focus and things like that were in a different place than where they are now. At that time, you know, I wanted to pursue, you know, making a couple of different episodes or movies for that particular movie, like a part 1 and a part 2 and all that kind of stuff. But with that being said, things have changed since then, because at the end of the day, I can't say that. You know, some people look at that as being negative, and I have young kids that they don't need to see stuff like that. But they didn't. My kids have never seen that movie, just for the record. But with that being said, you know, I took some pictures when I was on set with that movie, and it keeps coming up every time, like I have court or something dealing with my child support or my kids and the cases that I'm involved in. It keeps coming up because it's an attempt to assassinate my character. And the sad part about it is, you know, if that's all you have on me and you know who I'm talking to, like, that's really sad. You need to do more research, pull off all the pictures off my Facebook and just show, you know, me interacting with my family and stuff like that. Show my wedding pictures, show the accomplishments that I've made, because I edify those things on my Facebook as well. But it's really sad, and it's even more sad that, you know, at the end of the day, the kids are suffering because of this. And I think it's stupid, to be honest, but you know, I got to go through the motions, whatever. You know, I know that I'm no one to be scared of. I know my kids aren't going to be scared of me. In fact, my oldest son is asking and inquiring about me based on what was said in court. No, hang on just a second. Okay, I guess I have some viewers or whatever right now, but my kids are, at least my oldest son is inquiring about me and wanting to know who I am and things like that. And it's just, to me, it's just it's sad, because I too am a custodial parent, and my youngest son I actually have custody of, and I would never, ever, ever keep him away from his mother. In fact, I encourage him to call his mother, like, every day, or whenever I think about it. Her pictures are all up in his bedroom. He knows exactly who she is. If he doesn't call her, I'll get on his case about that. You need to call your mother. You need to check on your mother and see how your mother's doing. It's just really sad, you know, and I guess now I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of it. But my situation it's really weird, because granted, you know, the people that know me, you know, and you have a chance right now to type and say whatever you have to say in regards to it. It really doesn't matter. But everybody that knows me knows I have never denied my kids, my two oldest sons, who I currently don't have a relationship with. I always claim my kids. I've never denied that. And it's just really sad, because, you know, the truth of the matter is I've tried to establish that relationship with them. And when you have to go through, you know, a bitter parent, it makes that process hard. And then if that bitter parent, or then, you know, I got to a point where it was just exhausting. And I took the advice of my father just to, man, just, you know, just give it some time. They'll come around. They're going to want to know who you are. And that's what's happening right now. So I have to say my dad was actually right when he told me that. That's what's happening right now. My oldest son is starting to inquire more and more about who I am and why me and his mother wasn't married and all that kind of stuff. And again, I say, for those that know me, you know the truth in regards to how my kids were conceived or whatnot. And I have to be honest right now and say, because my character is being assassinated for whatever reason, and thank God for the internet and this stuff being recorded. Because if my kids ever see this, they need to know, you know, me and their mother were never together. We were never boyfriend and girlfriend. We never did none of that stuff. I met her one night and I didn't even know her. I didn't know her name. I didn't know any of that stuff until after my oldest son was conceived. Now, if my character is going to be assassinated, then, you know, I need to just shed some more light on the situation. I could be even more ornery about this situation and start naming names and doing all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to stoop that low. But I just want to put it out there because I know that there's other men that are going through this same situation. Now, my son's mother, she didn't even know my name. And we laid down. It was nothing forced or anything like that. We went back to her hotel that she was staying with friends. And we went into the bathroom and we did what grown-ups do. And my oldest son was conceived because of that. And I don't regret it by no means. And I recall, I can remember this day like it was yesterday. And before I walked out of the hotel room, I said, "Oh, well, let me have your telephone number or something like that, and I'll give you a call." And at that time, to be honest, being young and dumb, I had no intentions on calling her, none, because I didn't agree. I didn't rock that way with women that did stuff like that. And I know that sounds bad, but that's just the way it is. That's how I thought at 21 years old. And I said, "Oh, let me have your number." And she wrote her name and her number down. And that's when I got her name. And I'm like, "Oh." So I put it in my pocket. I was going to throw it out on the highway on the way home because I didn't care. I was like, whatever. And 3 months passed. She didn't have my information. She didn't know who I was at all. 3 months passed. And I called her because something kept telling me. I said, "Oh man, like, I think she's pregnant. She's pregnant." It was on my heart so heavy. She's pregnant. Call it intuition, call it, you know, whatever you want. I picked up the phone. I called her. And the first thing I said to her was, "You're pregnant, aren't you?" She didn't even know who I was. She said, "Who is this?" And I told her who I was. And I was like, "You know, the guy you met at the bar, you know, like 3 months ago or whatever." And she was like, "Oh," and she got quiet and stuff like that. Well, we had a serious conversation that day because I wanted to confirm that was my child. Now, granted, she was being honest, and I'm glad she was, but, you know, I asked her, could that child be anybody else's? And she said, yeah, she had a boyfriend at the time that she had cheated on, and she cheated on her boyfriend. And so I didn't know if that was my child the whole time she was pregnant or not, because she didn't even know if it was my child or his child. Now, truth be told, obviously I'm black and her boyfriend was white. So whenever that child was born, that's when you find out if the child was yours or if it were mine or his or whatnot. So fortunately, you know, he was mine. So, but it's really so anyway, time went on, and I'm really airing out my dirty laundry right now. But you know what? I'm not ashamed of it, because that's what made me who I am, and that's what gave me the drive to start something like this, 100 Forces, because I'll tell you right now, there's nothing like this in place in the nation. And in order for, I think, for this to grow the way that I intend on it to grow, I have to be transparent. And I already know that she's going to watch this video, because they're using everything that they possibly can in the courtroom to assassinate my character. And I've only probably put up 2 or 3 more videos that are somewhat similar to this. This is the first personal video, and the other videos that I put up had nothing to do with me. I never went into detail about any of this stuff, and this was brought up in the courtroom about these videos that I put up, and to the point where she stated that she was scared for my 2 sons to be around me because of audio and videos of me talking about stuff like this. This is totally ludicrous. Totally ludicrous. But it doesn't matter, because I know that I'm entitled to see my kids. And that's the part that's going to be that's going to be tough for her to deal with, because the truth will set you free, point blank, period. And, you know, since day one, I've always tried to be a part of my kid's life. This woman told me not to put myself on child support. I did it anyway. And I told her, we kind of had an argument about it. And I told her, like, I'm not going to not take care of my kids. She asked me to disappear and not to have anything to do with my children. On top of that, her mother called me and asked for me to give up my rights to my children, so that the guy that she's married to now could take care of my children. Whatever. I denied it. And that's happened twice. That just happened last year as well, when I was served some papers, and when my attorney investigated about it, you know, I found out some other things or whatnot, but you know, I'm probably not at liberty to talk about all that. But with that being said, you know, it's just really sad that for this person to be so scared of who I am when it comes to the involvement of my children. As an adult, if you're not going to pick up the phone, then I think her husband should have picked up the phone and tried to see what's going on with me and who I am and things like that. I don't do drugs. I don't have a prison record and all that kind of stuff. Just do your research. You know, I have 3 kids in my household right now. I have custody of my youngest son, 2 stepdaughters. I have another son that's on the way, another sibling that my 2 oldest sons need to meet when he gets here. You know, and I know that if this individual had the power to deny me access to my children, I know they would do it. And that is so sickening. It's sickening, because I know that there's somebody trying to portray an image that they have this perfect family, and that's just not the truth. I'll never deny my 2 boys. I'm going to always push to fight and see my 2 boys. And I know that day is going to come. And I'll tell you one thing. No, I won't say that. Never mind. Anyhow, there's probably more to this story that I'm leaving out. You know, granted, not being able to see my kids for that extended period of time. I was in the Navy, as you can see here. I joined right after my son was conceived. And again, I didn't even know if that was my son when I did join, But in case it was, I had to get my life together because I wasn't headed in the right direction. I was lost. I had no direction going on whatsoever back in 2001 when I enlisted in the military. So times have changed. That was quite some time ago, and I'm older now, and I understand, the things that are important, the things that I value. But, I'm glad that this is being recorded because I know one day, if I'm not able to see my kids for whatever reason, they'll see this video. And you know who you are. I don't want to say names and stuff like that, for my kids and stuff like that, for the sake of their privacy. But just know this. I pray every single day for you. I pray every single day for your mother. I pray every single day for your stepfather. I pray for both of you guys, and your parents every single day. Know that I love you with all my heart, and I cannot wait until the day that the floodgates open up to where I'll be able to establish and maintain a father-son relationship with both of my sons. And nobody is going to ever be able to, nobody's going to be able to stop that. There's no reason to stop that. And just know that, because I've heard some of the stories that you've been told, and it's just not true. That's all I can say. It's just not true. You're going to learn a lot from me as soon as we connect those dots and we have a relationship, sons. You're going to learn a lot from me. I can take you around people that know me, and they'll tell you a lot about me and who I am and what I represent and what I stand for. But this right here, believe it or not, your mom and your stepdad, they're a part of my family too. And we as adults should know that you should encourage the relationship of the child's biological parents and things like that. I don't care what the situation is. I mean, if it was something crazy we know how crazy a situation could really be in regards to a child being conceived. I don't want to go there, but that's not one of these type of situations. That's not one of these type of situations. And I know that I'm rambling, but this is just when I have a chance to talk about this, it's I can go on and on about it. You're talking like 12 years of dealing with this black cloud, not to mention having to pay child support, $916 a month. I paid faithfully for 4 or 5 or 6 years, however long it was. I paid faithfully, didn't never miss a beat. I have documentation. I'm sure that if I fumble through some paperwork, and I'll pull that out one day, and I hope that money went to good use. Over $50,000 paid faithfully. It didn't bother me at all. Over $50,000 when I was active duty military, doing my thing in Virginia. But the funny thing is, I did that so that she could have some sort of support, some sort of help in raising my sons, and it backfired in my face big time, because now I have arrears that are ridiculous. And I called her in regards to me discharging from the military, honorably discharging from the military, didn't get kicked out. I got out of the military to raise my youngest son now. And the sad part about it is I called her and I talked to her husband. And if my kids are listening, your parents, to ask for help in regards to the child support case, because I did not want to deal with my license being suspended, possible jail time, and all the other pitfalls that are associated with child support. And it's really, really sad that two people can't come together and work together, because it's not going. it's sad that can't happen. But both of your parents, if you're listening, sons, and to whoever else is listening, both of them know without a shadow of a doubt that I called asking for help in that arena because my situation was changing. Never once did that lady pick up the phone and call me and say, hey, I need help with raising these boys because, you know, times are hard and we can't eat at night and all this. Never, ever. I voluntarily picked up the phone and took care of that because that was a responsibility. And when my life was changing, getting out of the military, I was going through a divorce at that time. I reached out and said, look, this is the deal. And nobody even cared. That's sad because I think, you know, of course, people go into arrears and then they end up going to jail and falling off the face of the earth, whatever. I don't know. I'm sure there's some light at the end of that tunnel too. But why would you do something like that? That's so evil. That's so evil to even do something like that. It's crazy. But now, you know, my sons are older. And the only thing I care about is having a relationship with them. And also they will be educated times 10 on that thing between their legs and making the right decision by it. Because all it did was it hurt me in the long run financially and physically, mentally. This is not pretty by no means what I'm going through, which again is why 100 Forces was created, because I know many men that have gone through similar situations such as myself, and they give up. And you wonder why so much crime and so much crazy stuff out here in the world, because there's no father figure that has an impact on these kids and stuff like that. It's really sad, man. It's really sad. It takes a village to raise kids, you know. And like I said, I have 2 stepchildren myself whom I'm raising, and very well respected by them, as well as my own that I'm raising here. And you know, this is just a crazy situation. Like I said, that's why 100 Forces was created, because there needs to be some sort of relief for men that have to go through situations like this, because there's a bitter parent, you know, that really refuses you the rights to your kids. You don't get to see them and stuff like that. It's just sad, man. It's sad. You know, they've never experienced it themselves. I'm sure that my son's heads have probably been filled up with a whole bunch of other stuff. But in due time, I'll have a relationship with my sons. I just have to go through the process. And it's been over a year now that I've been going back and forth to court, or close to a year, something like that I've been going back and forth to court in regards to this case involving the custody of my kids. So in due time. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and close on that note. I may put up another video later on this evening, but I'll end on this note here. You know, I know that you're going to see this video, and I know that you're going to try to use this against me. And whatever makes you happy, whatever, if that's what you need to do to try and stop my blessings to have a relationship with my boys, you continue to proceed. The third parties that are involved in this, they could care less if I have a relationship with my kids. No attorney, no judge, they don't care about the welfare of our kids as far as if we have a relationship with them or not, because they're not getting up in the middle of the day like I'm doing right now, posting videos about, you know, mending families and stuff like that. I mean, that's their profession and they do a good job. But, you know, we need to do better. And, you know, I'm at the point now, like, you know, I just want to see my kids. I want to have a relationship with my kids, and they're old enough now. They can talk for themselves. They can pick up the phone and call for themselves. And as far as I'm concerned, like me and you, however that works out, it works out. If it don't work out, even with your husband, whatever, it's about the kids at the end of the day. And how dare anybody deny them access to me, especially if they're inquiring about who I am and want to know more about me. The sad part about it is you don't even know me. Your husband don't know me, but you're trying your best to put negative images in a judge's head about me, negative images possibly in my kid's head about me. But I know that you both have negative images in your heads about me just because of how you act and what's been said and what I've heard myself. But it doesn't matter. That's not important. What's important are the kids. And the older they get, the more they inquire about who I am, and they're denied that. All I can say is stand by. There's going to be consequences for that, not from me, but from them when they get older. So just stand by. That's not like a threat from me or anything. That's the boys. They're going to have to deal with that. And then somebody's going to have to explain to them why they were denied access to me. I just want a relationship with my boys. So that day will come. I pray, and I know it will. And you know, like I said, I know this is going to probably be used as well in a court system or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. You know. But I'll leave on that note, and I appreciate anybody that watched this video from start to finish. Leave some comments below. Inquire if you want to know more about what 100 Forces is for all the guys and the women that may have experienced something similar to what I've expressed on this video. Leave a comment. Contact me via email. Get in touch with me so you can find out about this 100 Forces and what we're doing. And again, like I said, I appreciate everybody's time. I'm gonna get off here. I just heard the kiddos walk in, and I'm sure they're gonna come banging on this door in any minute. So to my boys, if you see this, I do love you. And in due time, we're gonna see each other. We're gonna get to hang out. We're gonna get to have a lot of fun. And like I said, just for the record, I never even met my middle son, and I've only haven't seen my oldest son since he was 1 year old, and he's soon to be 13 years old. So that's going to happen. I'm going to put a video up in regards to that too. So here come the kids. Just like I said, they're running to come say hi to dad. In fact, I'm on. Oh, hang on just a second. I'm doing the video. Is that some food? Where are the kids at? Oh, okay, they're eating? Okay. Well, maybe they're not going to run down here and say nothing to me, but I guarantee you, as soon as I shut this thing off, they're going to run in here and request to come in and see me and give me hugs and all that stuff. But anyhow, thanks for listening. I will talk to and see you guys later.